Hi guys, let's go ahead and draw Balloon Dog. You guys are going to be working with a pencil and I will be working with the Sharpie. The reason is so you can see it better with the Sharpie on the screen. Alright, let's get started. We have this reference image right here that's going to help us out with what we're drawing. I'm going to start with this oval right up here, and when we put it down we need to first of all figure out the kind of the size. So the size you're kind of working with is about your finger, about right in here is where you'll get this first one down. Okay, so watch first and then I'll have you guys do it. Okay, notice it goes at a little bit of an angle there. The next one I'm going to do is right here, and I'm going to come down to about right here and I'm going to stop. So I'll go right here and I'm going to curve it down to about right in this area here. Okay? Now this next one is very important that you watch because we're going to do something a little bit different to make sure we have a little gap here. So I'm going to start right in this area on this one, and I'm going to come out, and then when I come down just a little bit, you'll notice I'll stop a little bit like that, leave a little gap, and then I'm going to come back to this part over here. For the tie on the balloon, we're going to do an oval right here. So the oval looks like this. Like a little ring almost coming out. And then I'm going to go back into where that little gap is. And then right there is where I bring it back to it. The next thing is the neck. So I'm going to start up in this area. Actually, you know what? I might start right here and come back over here. Okay, so that's right about here. I'm going to do a long neck. And I'm going to end it right here. Next, I'm going to work with the front legs. So right about here is I'll start this one. I'll bring it down and then bring it back up. And then this one's behind it. So I'm going to go right here and like that. Okay, so that's the front of the dog. Now we need to start working our way back with this shape right here. So I'm going to start it right here, and we're going to make it a little bit longer than the other ones, and then I'm going to bring it down back to about right here. The hind legs are next. So I'm going to start with the one that's on top. This one's going to be at a diagonal facing this way. So it kind of faces a little bit further back this way. And then the other one is a little bit inside of it. So I'm just going to go like this, and you just see a little bit of it. And the final step for drawing our balloon dog is the back tail. So this one's a little different, so make sure you're watching closely. So I go up and then a little over, I leave a gap. I'm going to come back this way, leave a little gap, and then I'm going to make it a little bit skinnier. So kind of go like this, the end of the balloon, and then I like to make a little line right here. That's where it kind of overlaps. All right, the next part we're going to work on is our shading part. This is my favorite part of the project. So the first thing we need to do is think about where is the light coming from. So this is going to be a shiny object, as you can see. So the light is maybe coming from different angles, but it's mostly coming from up above. So I'm just going to try to maybe draw an arrow here to kind of show that the light is coming down in this direction. Okay. So the rule is this for this one. Mostly on the bottom of these ovals is where you're going to be doing the shading. So you're going to put down some of this material with one of these pencils. These are a little bit darker. These are going to smudge a little bit better. They're going to move around a little bit better. Okay, so we're going to put it down kind of on the bottom sides of these ovals. Okay. So when I put that down, I can smear it now a little bit with my finger by pushing it. If that's not working out for you, you might have to go a little bit more with it and a little bit further out to kind of get that graphite and the darkness to move around a little bit more. Okay, so I'm just going to push that around a little bit more, and it's really cool how it starts to turn 3D when you do that. We do also have these blending stumps that are available. These are kind of nice for smaller detailed areas and just moving it around and adding those shadow effects into the work. Okay, so as you work through it, and you can kind of see on this one here, this one that's finished, so I did under here, here, and then a little bit under here on this one, down and around. So you can kind of, I'll have this picture up here on the screen when you guys are working, but you kind of want to work first of all with the shadow effects here. Now once you have all the shadow effects, we want to make it look a little bit shinier, and that's why you see this little white area on here. So we do have some white chalk that is available as well that we can start adding to it. So the light's going to hit up here, so we're going to just put down some chalk pretty heavy and towards the top. Okay. Now it does leave a little dust, so what you need to do is kind of smear it in, kind of polish it into the work. And you'll notice that it will lighten up those areas to give it more of a glow look. And so what you would do is kind of work throughout the whole entire piece, trying to get those highlights into the work and really get it nice and light if you can. Alright guys, here's a finished product of my balloon dog. One thing I added to it was a cityscape. I think it really helped it out, and I'm going to share with you how to make a cityscape behind your balloon dog. So we're going to get a piece of paper like this, and this will be attached to a different colored background. We do have an idea sheet, so this will help you out with coming up with different types of buildings throughout your work. Okay? So you can go ahead and use that while you go. To get started, you can jump right into the Sharpies, and you could use the ultra fines or the fine tip ones, and you can make it how you would like. So you could do a lot of buildings, you could do tall buildings. You guys can kind of decide the shape of the buildings, but I'm going to go ahead here and start adding my buildings. Alright, I was able to finish up with my cityscape here and the city skyline. Next I'm going to get into some color in the background. This is kind of fun. We don't have to add color to the buildings. We kind of added some decorations, and I added a lot of black and white to it, so do that first. But then you can start getting into some chalk. Okay? So chalk's going to be kind of fun because you get a chance to kind of get a lighter background in there, or some color in that background. So I'm just going to do some yellow and red into mine, and you can kind of choose the colors that you would like to put in there. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of show you just how to get started. And what I do is I like to go right close to the buildings with the color. Just going to put down a little bit of dust here, the chalk dust, okay? And then as I'm working, I can kind of push it up, okay, away from the buildings. This kind of gives it a nice kind of a glow look, and I really like to work with that. It's kind of fun to get like a natural blend going on there. Okay, I can add other colors in there as well, so I can kind of take some reds or oranges and let them kind of mix as you go. Okay, it's a fun medium to work with, fun material. Just be careful you have nice edges here on the tops of the buildings. Alright guys, I was able to add in the final chalk into it with the color. I think it turned out pretty good. And now to finish it up, you'll be taking your balloon dog here, and then also you'll notice this is like a half sheet, so this will get stapled. I think we want to staple it on there because I tried gluing it and it made it kind of like crinkled. But I can help you with that part, stapling it on. And then we'll take our dog, and you kind of position it how you want on your paper, and you can glue it down with a glue stick on top of the work. And then the final thing you could do is you could take a pencil, you could even add like a shadow effect with your balloon dog.